So, today we're going to be talking about how the Bible is not just a book of suggestions, but it is a book of laws, patterns, and outcomes. So, God repeatedly tells us, if you do this, then I will do that for you. So, let's get right into it. So, Deuteronomy 28, 1 through 2 tells us, and it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth, and all the blessings shall come on thee and overtake thee. So it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord, then all of these things shall happen. So let's take a look at what hearken diligently is, so that we can do that unto the voice of the Lord, so that all of these other things may be added to us. So hearken diligently. This means to listen with intense focus, paying close attention to instructions or guidance with specific intent to understand, to remember, and fully obey them, and not just hear them. So, God is telling us, if you listen to me intently, if you pay close attention to the instructions and the guidance that I'm giving you, specifically to understand, if you remember what I told you, and if you fully obey uh, that, and not just hear me, then all of these things, He will set thee above all nations of the earth, and all these blessings shall come on thee and overtake thee. So God, He governs results. So let's walk through 20 principles where God Himself tells us what happens if we obey. So, number one, seek God first and provisions follow. So, Matthew 6 and 33. But seek ye first the kingdom of God and His righteousness, and all these things shall be added to you. Okay, it says, but seek ye first the kingdom of God. So in order, and His righteousness. So in order to have all these things added to us, we need to first seek the kingdom of God and His righteousness. So what is the kingdom of God? So kingdom meaning king's dominion of God. So the king's dominion is allowing God to have dominion over everything in your life. Seek God's dominion over your finances. Seek God's dominion over your life. Seek God's dominion over everything that applies to you in existence, and His righteousness. So, not what we think as people is righteous, but what is righteous according to God. And then all of these things will be added to us. So, if we prioritize God over profit, then provisions will be added to us without us having to strive. Let's move on to the next. So, walk in integrity, and then security and stability will follow. Proverbs 10 and 9 tells us, he that walketh uprightly walketh surely, but he that perverteth his way shall be known. So, if you refuse dishonest gain, then your business will walk securely. So, walk upright in your ways. Don't walk perverse in your ways. If you walk upright, you walk surely. You refuse dishonest gain, and you walk securely. But if you walk in perverseness, the only thing you get is that everybody will know that you did it. The next one, diligence unto wealth and increase. So we've already talked about diligence and what that looks like. So Proverbs 10 and 4, it says, he became poor that dealeth with a slack hand, but the hand of the diligent make it rich. So he becometh poor that dealeth with a slack hand, but the hand of the diligent make it rich. So this tells us how you become poor And this tells us what maketh you rich. So work and consistency and excellence, those things lead to increase. So God is telling us, work consistently, work in excellence, and the increase will come by from me by what you produce. Generosity, it turns into supernatural increase. So Luke 6:38 tells us, give and it will be given unto you. Good measure, pressed down and shaken together and running over. So if you give freely, then God says increased returns will be multiplied to you. So these are principles that if you do these things, then God says he will do something in return. So honor God with your finances, and blessing will be on supply for you. So Proverbs 3:9-10 tells us, honor the Lord with thy substance. So shall thy barns be filled with plenty, and thy presses shall burst out with new wine. Put God first financially, and overflow will replace lack. So be faithful in a little, so God can trust you with much. This is the next principle. So Luke 16:10 tells us, he that is faithful in that which is least is faithful also in much. So if we steward small responsibilities, if you're able to steward small responsibilities in excellence, in divine order, then God will release greater responsibilities to you. It's an automation, and God does not lie. If God says that he will do it, it's a guarantee. So these are guarantees. So planning with wisdom equals a well established business. So Proverbs 20:18 tells us, every purpose is established by counsel, and with good advice, make war. So if you seek counsel and plan wisely, then your plans are established. So making sure that you seek out righteous counsel, counsel that's also working in the divine order as well, and your plans will be established. So order and systems, it leads to sustainability. So 1 Corinthians 14:40 tells us, let all things be done decently and in order. So build a structure that's decent and in order so that what you build will last. So humility turns into promotion from God. James 4:10 tells us, humble yourselves in the sight of the Lord, and he shall lift you up. So stay humble, and then God will promote you. Patience turns into preservation from failure. So Proverbs 19:2 tells us, he that hasteth with his feet sinneth. Move at God's pace. You don't have to move quickly. You don't have to move slow. You need to move at God's pace, because then you avoid costly mistakes. Righteousness leadership turns into joyful people. Proverbs 29:2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. So lead righteously, and then the culture will thrive. Treat people justly, and you'll get God's favor. So Colossians 4:1 tells us, masters, give unto your servants that which is just and equal, knowing that ye also have a master in heaven. So if you treat your employees fairly, then heaven will back your leadership. So preparation, it turns into protection. So Proverbs 22:3, a prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself. So prepare ahead of time. If you prepare ahead of time, then you will be preserved. Obedience turns into supernatural prosperity. Joshua 1:8 tells us, For then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and then thou shalt have good success. So obey the words of God, and prosperity will follow. Trust God, not riches. And this is what leads to true security. So in 1 Timothy 6 through 7, 6, chapter 6, verse 17, it says, charge them that are rich, that they trust not in uncertain riches, but in the living God. Depend on God, because stability, it replaces fear.